What if the greatest threat to our existence isn't from the stars or from a lab, but has been waiting for us, frozen right here on Earth? For millions of years, the polar ice caps have been our planet's time capsules, preserving ancient air, forgotten landscapes, and the remains of creatures long extinct. But our world is changing. The ice is melting, and as it recedes, it's revealing secrets that were meant to stay buried forever. We've all heard of mammoths found in the permafrost, but what if the ice held something else? Something that wasn't a victim of the Ice Age, but a predator that ruled it. What if we found a creature so perfectly adapted to that brutal, frozen world that the ice wasn't its tomb, it was merely its prison? And what happens when a prison that has held deep in the heart of Antarctica lies one of the most isolated places on Earth, Lake Vostok? Buried under 2 miles of solid ice, this subglacial lake has been cut off from the outside world for over 15 million years. It is a place of profound mystery, a scientific frontier where we search for clues about life on other planets. In 2026, a seismic event caused by the rapidly melting ice sheet revealed something extraordinary. A new, deep ice trench, a previously unknown geological feature, cracked open near the Vostok research station. An international team of scientists was dispatched, equipped with the latest ground-penetrating radar. They weren't just looking for microbes, they were looking for the unknown. For weeks, the work was routine. They drilled ice cores, cataloged microscopic organisms frozen for millennia. But then, 1.5 miles down, the drill hit something that wasn't rock. The sensors registered a massive, dense, organic object. It was colossal, far larger than any known polar animal. Using a sophisticated thermal drill, they began the painstaking process of carving out a huge block of the ancient ice, a crystal coffin containing a secret 2 million years old. As the colossal block was hoisted into the station's subterranean biolab, the team got their first clear look. Staring back at them through the ice was a face from a nightmare. It was a creature that had no right to exist in the fossil record. It was covered in a thick white, almost fur-like coat, but beneath it were the scales of a reptile. Its head was massive, wolf-like, but with rows of serrated, shark-like teeth. Its claws were the size of scythes. The scientists gave it a designation, Cryopredator X. But the most terrifying discovery was not the creature itself. It was what was frozen around it, the mangled remains of giant prehistoric sloths, a species of short-faced bear, and something else, a hominid, an early human ancestor, its face frozen in a silent scream. This was an apex predator, caught in the act of a hunt. They hadn't found a fossil. They had found a murder scene. Back in the secure lab, the science began. Initial analysis was baffling. It was a mosaic of evolutionary traits that shouldn't exist in one animal. Its skeletal structure was reptilian, but its metabolism was warm-blooded, allowing it to generate incredible heat. Its fur wasn't fur, but a complex matrix of crystalline filaments, a kind of biological fiber optic that made it nearly invisible in the polar night. This was a creature built for the dark, an ambush predator that had evolved specifically to hunt in a world of ice and shadow. It was a relic, a survivor from a much older, colder period of Earth's history. It had survived countless extinction events, perfectly hibernating in the ice, a living fossil of unimaginable age. How could a creature this complex survive being frozen solid? The answer, discovered in its blood, was a unique glycerol-like cryoprotectant, a biological antifreeze of incredible potency. When the temperatures plummeted in some ancient cataclysm, the creature's body went into a state of suspended animation. Its cells didn't rupture, they were perfectly preserved, waiting. This wasn't just a dead body. Genetically, biologically, it was viable. Every cell was a loaded gun, waiting for a trigger. This discovery sent a shockwave of both excitement and pure terror through the scientific community. They were looking at a form of biological immortality that defied everything they knew. The analysis of the hominid found with the creature was just as disturbing. It was an unknown species, an offshoot of Homo erectus. The bite marks on the bones were a perfect match for Cryopredator X. The story became terrifyingly clear. This was a specialized manhunter, a monster creature that had evolved to prey on the most intelligent species of its time. This discovery aligns perfectly with our audience's core desire, to be shown a truth that no one else will. It's the official story is a lie angle, a forgotten chapter of our evolution where we were not the hunters, but the hunted. A truth that, if revealed, would change our understanding of our own history forever. The protocol was clear. The ice block was to be kept at a stable 50 degrees Celsius. The Vostok station was a fortress of science with multiple redundant safety systems. But what if something went wrong? What if the very forces melting the ice caps on the outside found a way to melt the ice inside the lab? Let's imagine a scenario. A once-in-a-century polar vortex descends on the station. A critical generator powering the lab's cooling unit suffers a catastrophic failure. The backup generator kicks in, but there's a flaw. For 90 critical minutes, the cooling system is offline. The temperature inside the specimen chamber begins to rise. Alarms blare, but a communications blackout means no one knows. The ice block is no longer a solid mass. It's a pool of slush and meltwater. Two researchers enter the lab to assess the situation. The room is filled with a thick, cold fog, but the main specimen, Cryopredator X, is gone. A sudden guttural sound echoes from the darkness, the sound of a creature that has been asleep for 2 million years, and it has just woken up. This is the ultimate what-if bomb. The question is no longer, what if we found it? The question is, what do we do now that it's awake? In this scenario, the Vostok station, once a beacon of discovery, becomes a tomb. The creature is loose, and it is a master of its environment. It's intelligent. It uses the ventilation shafts to move silently through the station, a ghost in the machine. It cuts the scientists off from the rest of the world. They are trapped at the bottom of the planet with a monster from its prehistory. It's a perfect predator. Its white fur makes it invisible. It sees in the dark, and it's smart. It learns the layout of the station. It sets traps. The scientists try to fight back, but they are facing a creature that hunted far more dangerous prey. This is the ultimate conflict: modern human intellect versus primal predatory perfection. The chilling truth is that in a direct confrontation with a creature like this, in an environment it was born to dominate, our technology and intelligence might not be enough. The story ends with the few remaining survivors making a desperate plan to overload the station's reactor, a suicide mission to entomb the creature once more. Their final message is a desperate warning to the world about what they had found, about the monster they had unleashed, a warning that is cut short by the sound of a door being torn from its hinges. This is the payoff our audience craves, not a happy ending, but a terrifying and satisfying conclusion that fulfills the promise of the title.